ranks, taking on former featherweight champ Calvin Grove.
Hij is gestegen op de wereldranglijst naar de 24e plaats. Dan hebben we het over Regilio Tuur. Deze Rotterdammer, Regilio Tuur.
In his 3-year pro career, Regilio Tuur has fought in different parts of the world, many times in the Netherlands, where he grew up, and many times in New York, where he's lived for the last 3 years. Perhaps his toughest fight was in upstate New York in July of last year, when he took on the veteran Jose Sanabria, a former world champion. It was a tough, close fight, the first time Tuur ever went 10 rounds. Tuur had knocked out 11 of his previous 13 opponents, but Sanabria's experience and excellent conditioning for the fight made it a big challenge for the younger Tuur. Tuur tired late in the fight, but when it was over, the judges gave him a split decision. It was a fight in which Tuur learned a lot. Now he faces another experienced opponent and former champion in Calvin Grove, who is 29 years old. Grove won his first 33 fights en route to winning the IBF Featherweight Championship in January of 1988. After one successful title defense, he took on Jorge Paez. The fight was a close one, which turned late in the fight when Paez knocked down Grove 3 times and went on to win a 15-round decision. It was the first loss for Grove in his pro career. Almost 8 months later, Grove challenged Paez in a rematch, trying to regain the title. The outcome was the same, with Paez catching Grove on the chin in the 11th round, and the fight was stopped. For the flamboyant Paez, it was time to celebrate. For Calvin Grove, it was a big disappointment and a time to think about the future. Grove won 6 of his next 7 fights, losing to Bernard Taylor in a USBA title fight. But last October, he suffered a crushing defeat when he was knocked out by Brian Payton in the 3rd round. That was Calvin Grove's last fight, and now he tries to come back from that loss to take on Reggie Tuur, as Grove tries to establish himself in the junior lightweight division. And there you see Calvin Grove in the ring. How much do you think that knockout by Payton took out of him, Gil?
Well, you know, sometimes a knockout like that can really destroy a guy's reflexes. Basically because he's starting to flinch when guys throw punches. That could possibly happen to Calvin Grove. You know, he has been stopped a couple of times. Now, Sam, if I was in Regilio Tuur's corner, yes, the first thing I would do is have the referee bring Calvin Grove's trunks down to his navel, because right now they're up around his chest, and it can mean a lot in a fight.
All right, Calvin Grove, Regilio Tuur getting ready. Here are the introductions to our main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. This is our main event of the evening. Introducing first our referee, Ken Zimmer. And now first introducing in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, weighing an even 130 pounds. He is the former IBF featherweight champion. His record a near perfect. 40 wins, just 4 losses, 16 wins by KO from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Here is Calvin Silky Grove. And now introducing in the red corner his opponent, wearing the blue and yellow trunks, weighing 129 pounds, the current New York State lightweight champion, ranked number 3 in the world by the WBC, number 4 by the WBA. He has won 28 of his 30 professional fights, with 20 by knockout. From the Queens, New York, here is Regilio Tuur.
Regilio Tuur was up in the rankings, and this a very, very important fight for him. And he says he thinks Grove will expect him to be out there banging away, and he may find him boxing better than ever.
Well, you know, speaking to his stablemate, Kevin Kelly, Kelly's feeling was that the Tuur had better go out there real early and try to get Calvin Grove out. He says, because once Grove figures you out and gets his rhythm going, he's a very, very difficult guy to fight. So maybe Kevin Kelly and Tuur have opposite strategies for this fight.
I will say one thing that they all have in common in the Tuur camp, and that is the utmost respect for Calvin Grove.
Well, Calvin Grove, as you know, Sam, is a very, very smart, sharp boxer. Moves well. For a while, he was just about unbeatable.
First 33 on the way to becoming the IBF featherweight champion.
They are the same weight, but you can just see Tuur's back, his back muscles, his shoulders. He's so much broader across the chest and shoulders than Calvin Grove.
Tuur finishing up his third year. A good right hand by Tuur that stunned Grove. The big question about Grove is his ability to take a punch. His chin now in question. Paez having knocked him out twice. Hayden knocking him out in the third round. And Bernard Taylor stopping him in the 11th round.
Well, that was a big right hand by Tuur, and Grove just shook it off.
The movement by Grove, making Tuur miss. Right was blocked. Tuur feels that Grove is not effective if he's being backed up, and he'd like to try and back him up with the jab.
Well, that's what he's been doing since the fight started. He's been the aggressor, and Calvin Grove has been trying to move away. And as we've seen in the previous fight, Grove is trying to punch and get out of the way at the same time.
Grove stumbling across the ring, off balance. Tim Zimmer wipes off the gloves, and no knockdown. This one is scheduled for 10. Tuur looking very confident in there.
He looks so much bigger and stronger than Calvin Grove. Look at that back, man. Tuur.
Good movement by Grove. Tuur carrying out his game plan. Regilio Tuur in the blue, Calvin Grove in the black.
Grove is going to have to stand his ground a little bit and land a couple of solid punches to have Tuur respected, because right now Tuur is just walking right through him.
Tuur looks like he got a little anxious there, but now he's got a good right hand in there, trying to measure Grove for that right.
And up to this point, Grove hasn't shown any offense whatsoever.
With a lot of movement, no doubt respecting Tuur's power. Calvin Grove turned pro in June of 1982. He fought 22 of his first 24 fights in Atlantic City. Now using the jab well. Knocked out Antonio Rivera in the 4th round, January 23rd, 1988, to win the IBF Featherweight Championship. Throwing the jab out there, but not making anything happen. Tuur getting the best of that exchange.
Well, Grove is really not exchanging, Sam, that much. just fighting completely defensively. Now Tuur switches to southpaw, now back around again. We're seeing a lot more of that, Sam, where fighters switch to southpaw. A lot of times I can't figure it out because if you're winning a fight and doing everything right and they switch.
Using the entire ring, and it's been virtually non-stop movement on his part.
You can see why they call him Silky, Sam. Smooth as silk.
Tuur hasn't been too bad himself. Some nice moves. How'd you score the first two?
I gave the first two rounds to Tuur, just on being more aggressive. Not that he's done anything spectacular, but he's landed a few more solid punches than Calvin Grove. Grove is fighting strictly a defensive fight. Lateral movement, side to side. But again, not setting down on his punches at all.
Not throwing many punches. Is there anything Tuur can do here to cut the ring off on Calvin Grove?
Well, sure, Sam. You're taught it's almost like trapping a guy in a game of checkers. Good left hook by Calvin Grove. It's almost like trapping a guy. You have to step over in front of him. Remember, the ring is square. It's not round. And gradually move him into a corner. And then the best way to hit a guy like Calvin Grove is throw the first punch to the body. Even if he blocks it with his arm, you're going to bring him in front of you.
Grove showing his first offense of the fight in this round. Tuur has landed a couple of good punches. Quickness, good movement by Grove.
I don't know how they expect Grove to win the fight during this, Sam. Eventually has to settle down.
Unless this is part of his plan to just make Tuur chase and try and frustrate him early in the fight.
But then meanwhile, Tuur is putting rounds in the bank.
Tuur just coming up a bit short for those punches.
Now what Tuur should have done it, take a step over with his right foot and move Grove back into the corner. He's chasing Grove around the ring instead of cutting off the ring. Now you'll see Grove will just shoot right out, right back out into the center of the ring again. Now he should step over and cut off that ring, but he just is not doing it. He's following Grove around the ring.
We're late in round 3.
Both fighters were off their stool and ready to go long before the bell rang.
And in Reggie Tuur's corner, trainer Phil Borgia said, I want to see more punches. You're in shape to go 15 rounds. Go at him and throw more punches.
Well, you have to punch at something. Something has to be in front of you. So far, he has not been able to trap Calvin Grove where he's in front of him. Calvin Grove is a real cutie.
Tuur slips on the edge of the canvas.
Before he slipped, though, Calvin Grove made a beautiful move to escape out of the corner.
Good left hook by Tuur.
Grove is setting down a little bit more now, Sam. May just see a little more action.
Well, I think if it's getting to that point that if that's the strategy to try and frustrate Tuur early, he has to start coming on with some offense. He certainly has made Tuur miss a lot. men throwing jabs, both men missing. And that's a slip again. Whoa.
Well, you can see how clever. It was a slip aided by Calvin Grove. He more or less threw Tuur down in that exchange.
Grove apologizing as he almost caught Tuur. Tuur was on his way up, and Grove threw a punch. Just pulled up a little bit. Now Tuur switches to southpaw, seeing if that'll change things.
That's a nice punch, that right hand to the body by Tuur. That should set up some other combination.
Neither man has landed very many punches in this round. And a lot of missing.
Never mind the round, in the fight.
Oh, okay.
Very few solid punches landed, Sam, in the fight.
Here comes the bell, ending round 4. Scheduled for 10. Check your Gill scorecard says.
I have 3 rounds for Tuur and 1 even. I just don't think that Grove has shown enough offense at all. And you, Sam?
I've gone 4 zip, but again, very close. That last round, little to choose from, but Tuur a little more aggressive than Grove. Grove just hasn't done much offensively, hasn't thrown many punches, hasn't landed.
You had mentioned that we think that the knockout by Patton has anything to do with Calvin Grove, and sometimes fighters get a little punch shy, and you know, you have to take chances in boxing. You have to throw some punches, and Grove may just be a little reluctant to let anything go because he's afraid of getting nailed back.
His left hand was taken on the gloves by Grove,
and he came back with a pretty good left hook himself for a change. Good snappy jab by Grove. Setting down a little more now. You see some action in. Clever move by Grove.
He's very slick. And we're into that dangerous territory that Kevin Kelly talked to you about. Grove has certainly figured out his man. He's staggered, may have been staggered by that left hook.
I thought it was a right hand.
Right?
Looping right hand.
Okay. Tuur was low with a left.
Good left hook by Calvin Grove.
We're changing those leads a little bit.
And being successful at it. There was a chance where Tuur had a chance to flurry. Instead, he tied up Grove. He should punch every chance he gets.
Grove back to moving again. He had been setting himself early. Now he's using that ring again. Lots of movement. We're trying to get in that right hand. Time winding down in the 5th round.
A minute. There it was, Sam. Moved him off balance with that right hand. May have wobbled him, maybe not. Grove seems to be showing no ill effects from the punch.
This is round 6, scheduled for 10.
There's that right hand to the body. That sets up other things, Sam. I like that punch when you're in with a slick boxer.
While from our vantage point, we think Regilio Tuur may be ahead, doing a little more offensively. Judges may be seeing this differently. Grove sharp with that last jab. Here, Grove setting himself a little more. Now he's back on the move.
I like that straight right hand to the body. I think Tuur should stay with that punch every time he moves Grove against the ropes or near the ropes.
Tuur has been the man on the attack throughout the fight. Grove has moved a lot, trying to counter on occasion.
And you know, for a Philadelphia fight, you think that Grove would be thinking a little bit more offense, because in Philadelphia, they throw you out of the ring if you don't fight real hard. Good left hook by Grove. Grove's setting down now, Sam.
Tuur may have to do something to really shake Grove, because Grove seems to be gathering his confidence. Checking to see if a little head banging opened the cut, but it did not.
And Grove is cut.
It is a cut. Right eye. There is blood coming down.
Right eye of Calvin Grove.
And it's bothering Grove. He has wiped at it. He continues to wipe at it. Maybe getting into his right eye. It's coming straight down. Grove trying to stay away from Tuur.
I think this has been Grove's best round of the fight, Sam. And this is the round that he got cut.
Good right uppercut by Tuur. End of round 6. Gil.
All right, let's take a look. There you go. An unintentional headbutt by Regilio Tuur and opened the cut on Calvin Grove's eye. This may change the complexion of the fight. You know, a lot of times when a guy sees blood, he gets more confidence, and the guy that's cut starts to lose a little confidence. Especially a fight like this, which is a head game fight. Grove is going to have to settle down and fight a little bit now.
Round 7 scheduled for 10. How do you have it scored through 6?
I have it 4-1-1 for Regilio Tuur. And you, Sam?
I go 5-1, a little bit wider. But again, several rounds, very close. I gave the edge to Tuur as the aggressor in virtually every round.
Well, that's basically why I have given Tuur the round. Not that he's been effectively aggressive, but he's been the aggressor and looks the stronger of the two. Calvin Grove has not shown much of an offense at all.
This Grove has been an excellent defensive fighter. He's moved very well. He's made Tuur miss a lot.
Tuur has a little mouse under his right eye.
Glancing left hook landed by Tuur.
And the cut has been stopped by Grove's cornerman. Usually it takes a little time for the medication to set in there, but it's certainly they've done a good job in the corner.
And the man in the corner is Al Gavin, who we spoke about earlier this evening. One of the best cornermen. Good right hand by Grove. His best punch. Tuur felt it. He's just backing off for the first time in the fight. Regilio Tuur has backed up. He was shaking by the right hand.
Backed up and holding, Sam. Well, now this may give the puncher Tuur a chance to nail Grove, and Grove is landing some solid punches.
And now Tuur with a right hand staggered Grove. He falls, and Ken Zimmer, the referee, says no knockdown. There's a push on the back. But Grove was a little wobbly from a right hand.
Grove is throwing punches this round. Again, we mentioned he has to take chances, and when you take chances, you get nailed the way he just did then.
He did. Tuur lands a right uppercut that staggers Grove. And now we're seeing the biggest punches of the fight here in the 7th round. Tuur with another right uppercut. Tuur measuring
Big right hand. Wobble Grove. Grove is in trouble.
Regilio Tuur in the red, in the blue, excuse me, and Calvin Grove in the black. There's that right hand by Calvin Grove landing.
And that's what got Grove in trouble. Landed the punch, started to forget about his defensive boxing abilities and got nailed himself. Now Grove is setting down a little more, which may give Tuur the opportunity to nail him with one of those big punches.
Grove has fought a very slick fight.
But not a winning fight, in my opinion, Sam.
I agree with you, but I think we're going to find that this is going to be a very close fight to score on the judges' scorecard. Combination by Grove. And from Tuur's corner, his trainer, Joe Borgia, imploring him to let the hands go, to start throwing punches. Tuur really hasn't thrown many punches thus far in the round.
Good left hook by Tuur, set down beautifully on that punch. Plenty of leverage.
Glancing right hand. Grove moving away from it. Cut over the right eye has not been a problem for Calvin Grove.
The heavier punches of Tuur have been a problem for Calvin Grove. You just get the feeling that Tuur could nail him at any time.
Oh, Grove chasing after Tuur, went flying through the ropes.
And got nailed while he was through the ropes by Reggie Tuur. There's that right hand to the body, but he should hook back off it right away.
Seemed like he was a little off balance when he threw it.
There it is again.
Grove lands the right hand. Grove with another right hand. Calvin Grove landing inside, and it's Reggie Tuur holding on. Late in the 8th round. Here's the bell.
On the ropes. There you see him. Grove goes right through the ropes, and while he's through the ropes, Tuur nails him with a punch. Grove started to land some solid punches at the end of that last round, Sam. But again, Tuur's the aggressor. Looks the stronger of the two.
All right, how do you have it scored through 8 rounds?
I have it 5-2-1 even for Reggie Tuur.
Tuur ahead by 3. I have Tuur ahead by 4 points. I just sense that this could be a real tough one to score, Joe.
Well,
A lot of these rounds have been very close.
right, and if Grove does settle down and throw some punches, see now when he has to miss, he should showboat and pull a nice combination. But instead, he just is content to have Tuur miss the punches. He has to take advantage of that.
Reggie Tuur has lost only once in his pro career. And that was to Fernando Rodriguez, a 6th-round decision.
Acute southpaw, too, Rodriguez was. I don't know how they matched him with Rodriguez, but that was a match that should never have been made. And he look at Grove.
Oh.
Look at Grove have Tuur miss punches.
That loss was back in January of 1990. Since that loss and then a draw which followed, Tuur has won his last 20 fights. But here he is in with a crafty, slick, world-class fighter in Calvin Grove. Lancing right hand by Grove.
And Tuur just can't seem to cut off the ring and trap Grove against those ropes where he'd love to have him.
I think that's been the hardest thing for Tuur to do. Oh, snappy jabs there. Flashy jabs, I should call them. So countering with a jab, with a right hand, excuse me. Tuur looking a little unsure of himself here. Late in round 9. Tender.
And Sam, I feel that after this fight, I think Tuur's going to get the decision. Unless he hits Grove on the chin in this round. I think he's going to get the decision. And Grove is going to be asking himself why he didn't start earlier. Because once he settled down, last couple of rounds, I think Grove has won the last 2 rounds.
He's popping that jab a lot better in the last few rounds. I'd say in the second half of the fight, I've given Grove 3 of the 4 rounds.
That's what I was going to say to himself. Why didn't I start throwing punches a lot earlier?
Now the question is, did the judges give Grove some of those early rounds, which we felt were close? Grove with a right hand, catching Tuur coming in
and making Tuur miss again.
Grove bouncing around. It's been non-stop movement. There's some blood on the left side of Grove's face. I can't tell where it's coming from.
It doesn't look like a cut, Sam. It may be, I don't know where it's coming from either. They may have a slight abrasion
under the left eye. Great movement by Grove throughout the fight.
So he has Tuur completely frustrated. Look at Tuur. Missing punches, just completely frustrated.
Tuur has just not been able to stop Grove from moving. And I just have to wonder if the judges may feel that
cut by Grove,
give Grove some points for the defensive style and making Tuur miss.
Beauty, too. Did you see him pull Tuur that time? He seems to know when Tuur is going to throw those punches before Tuur even thinks about throwing them. There he is again. He moves. As Kevin Kelly said, he said, once Grove figures you out, he's very difficult to do anything with. And it seems he's figured out Reggie Tuur.
Well, Kevin Kelly told us earlier this evening that Reggie Tuur needed to get to Grove within 6 rounds. Hurt him, stop him, because Grove is a crafty veteran. Final seconds of the fight. And will come on, and he has done just that. Well. Grove thinks he's got to win. Trying to bounce back from the knockout defeat at the hands of Brian Pettin. And we will see. I've scored it 96-94 for Tuur, but I gave Grove 4 of the last 5 rounds.
I gave Grove 4 of the last 5 rounds also, and I have the Tuur winning by 1 point.
All right. We'll see what the judges think.
So far, Sam, you and I, we haven't been in agreement with the judges at all. So I guess our scoring, they can forget about it.
Oh, we've had the right winners. We just,
yeah, but we're a little bit, somebody's off base.
Two quality fighters. Calvin Grove, a former champion, trying to resurface in the junior lightweight division. was real silky smooth in there. Now Gavin checking out a couple of the cuts. Cards have been collected, and here comes the decision from Ward Todd.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge Joe Ware Sr. scores the fight 98-93 for Tuur.
Wow.
Judge Sid Rubenstein scores the fight 96-94 Grove. And Judge Wynn Kent scores the fight 97-93 for the winner, Calvin Silky Grove.
Wow. Calvin Grove. When Grove heard split decision, I think he thought the New York man would get it.
Yeah, well, he was disappointed. He thought he won the fight easily. Again, I thought Tuur won the fight by a point, but it was a very, very close fight. I thought Grove just started a little too late. I was giving Tuur credit for aggressiveness in those early rounds. Not much more, just aggressiveness.
I don't think there were any decisive rounds where you could find a clear-cut winner of the round, and never once was either man hurt. And Calvin Grove, with a very, very important win for him, a 10-year pro, 29 years old, has defeated Regilio Tuur, only the second defeat in Tuur's career. Grove in the corner of Regilio Tuur. And now leaning over the ropes right above us. Calvin Grove wins the split decision. Acknowledges congratulations from the chairman of the New York State Athletic Commission, Randy Gordon. Disappointing loss for Regilio Tuur. Ends his 20-bout winning streak. And now he will have to bounce back to try and regain his high rating. Calvin Grove, an important win for him, Gil.
Very tough guy to fight.
That wraps it up here at the Friar Tuck Inn in Catskill, New York, where Calvin Grove has won a split decision over Regilio Tuur. For Gil Clancy, producer Paul Sullivan, director John Gallagher, this is Sam Rosen. That wraps it up.
And we take a look at the New Jersey rules.